shot, fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff.
I'm bumping that wap wap wap, I'm not gonna lie, but Drake just dropped I'm Here Early this time. The Heart Part 6, I told you guys what he needed to do to win. So if you didn't catch that, check out the reaction. We're gonna get into this right away. Oh shit, that's Dave Bree Harding. I don't know what he hearted, but it's on Instagram, it looks like, right?
The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in. First,
got your lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in, okay?
I was arrested, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in?
I said this too. This part I said, if you're saying he's a rat, there has to be paperwork for it. It's filed by the police. It's on the judges, the court. You can find that paperwork if it's actually true. So if you don't have that paperwork, I'm sorry. That part of Kendrick's diss, I didn't even take that in because I'm like, we need proof for that. Sure. Okay.
First I was arrested, so where's the proof of the trial then?
Okay.
Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited.
This is one thing he does really well. He sets up the picture that he's painting, right? And I know a lot of Kendrick stans are just have already called it, and to be honest, I might have already called it too, to be honest. I don't know what Drake can say to save this, but at the same time I can appreciate what he's doing lyrically, right? What Kendrick has done, and it's one of the weaknesses I talk about, is there hasn't been any, apart from Euphoria, there weren't many layers that you could really like dig into. Euphoria was super deep. That was the layered one. But he also has a bop. He also has just a straight up psychology talk one-on-one with Drake, where he's not really flowing on the beat. It's just a horror movie type beat that he had. That whole thing, fire. Did he kill Drake? Yes, he killed Drake. But in a diss battle, you expect a certain level of just lyricism, where Kendrick in a few of his diss tracks decided not to do that. I understand why he decided not to do that, because it was a straight up one-on-one. He's like, fuck hip-hop, I'm just talking to you one-on-one. So that's hard. But Kendrick stans have to admit that what Drake is doing in terms of how he's setting up his bars is fire too. It's just not better than Kendrick. That's it. That's it.
Stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information.
Okay. He has a shot. He has a shot. Again, Kendrick's stans are gonna say something that I'm sure most people are gonna say at this point, because the narrative is done. In my opinion, this thing is already done because the crowd is on Kendrick's side and it's not winnable. You can't swing the crowd back. It's harder to swing them back than to earn them before they pick a side. They already picked their side. Kendrick wins, but I need to tell you guys straight up, and this is gonna get disliked probably. Look, man, Drake fed him false information, and he believed it so hard that he wrote a third of his diss towards this topic. So if it's not true, you can't just go around throwing false allegations. You know, like when Tupac and Biggie were going back and forth, there's a mutual understanding that this is supposed to be some real shit. You can twist the facts a bit. You can twist it in your direction, but the data itself has to be real. And if Kendrick is doing this like false snitch, and Drake doesn't really have a daughter type stuff, then that pulls a lot away from Kendrick. Again, Kendrick still won. Kendrick still won. We'll see. Maybe I changed my mind and I think that Drake brings it back. Who knows?
Medals, honor, and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but
a daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. He takes the bait, but he's also claiming that Dave Free is the father of one of the children that Kendrick is taking care of, and he's saying, I bet he takes that 11-year-old in the same way he took another kid that didn't belong to him in, which actually belongs to Dave Free. Again, though, if Dave Free isn't actually the dad, same story. It just pulls away from the weight of your diss, Drake. So I hope you did your research.
Takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation.
There we go. So Drake confirms it. He already did before he dropped this diss that it was planted information. He teased towards it. I'm a bit disappointed that Kendrick didn't do his research, because if everything Kendrick said was true, Drake would be so far canceled, destroyed, career ruined, that it'd be unrecoverable. But because that part isn't true and it was all fake information fed to Kendrick, it's not as much of a wash as people are gonna claim, and I guarantee people on social media are gonna not care about this because their minds are already made up. I'm trying to get to this from an unbiased standpoint, so I'm giving Drake the points and the flowers where they deserve to be given. But if this dude's actually a pedophile, like I'm out of here. You know, I'm out of here too. So we need to see the proof. That's just the way the world works. That's the way our jury system works. Show me the proof. And if it's true, I'm out of here.
You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen it.
Why is she following Dave Free? Is that true? Someone fact check that. Is that she's following Dave Free but not Kendrick? And yes, she hasn't. I do know she hasn't said anything about this.
The allegations. Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom.
Nice setup there. Nice setup. Misdirect, disdirect. Okay, I see what he's doing. But you can see that Drake is on the defensive right now. Even though Drake set him up, all he's doing is say, you're lying about this. This whole track so far has been Drake saying, Kendrick, you're lying about this. And his allegations are still the same ones he brought up in his past diss. So I feel like he has to bring something new or word something in a smarter way because right now, like, yes, he outsmarted Kendrick in a way, but Kendrick outsmarted him too by dropping and stealing his wind, stealing his thunder. Okay, so
being on some disdirect
this isn't enough.
You rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit.
It's hard,
but came
but
over today and I was like, mother I, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about
the way he performed that is so petty. It's so petty, bro. It's mother ah. Damn, bro. People aren't gonna receive this well, Drake. They're just not. I'm sorry. I honestly believe Drake should have just waited like a week or something. Have this cool down, because right now you can't fight the wave.
wait a second. That's that record where you say you got molested. Ah, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with.
Oh.
It's so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting.
Okay. So he's taking the angle that we already knew existed, but what happened to Kendrick, and he's pushing on that sore spot. He's pushing on it, and he's dancing around it, and he pushes it from this angle, pushes it from that angle. I see what he's doing, man. I really do see what he's doing, but I think it's too late. You know what I mean?
I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper...
Okay, so legally, I agree with Drake. The fact that these rumors and these things have been happening for so long, if there's a legal way to send Drake to jail, he would have already been there. You know what I mean? Unless cops are that bad that for like a whole decade they didn't find anything about Drake, I really do think that legally Drake is fine. But morally, like, okay, fine. Legally, you didn't go below the age, but you're right at that cusp every single time. There's so many girls you've been with who are right at that cusp, which just feels like you set them up, you groomed them. I'm not saying you did that, okay? I can't know these things for sure, but I'm saying the way that it looks is bad morally. No matter what happens on the legal side of it. That's just the facts.
Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed,
Lesson.
and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to
Talk about breeding resentment?
ease the sentiment, the shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents, but you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver.
Okay, he's cooking in this segment. He flipped that A minor thing, but the way I'm gonna keep saying this, you know, I'm not that far deep into the Kendrick stan area, but I'm definitely Kendrick pulled me to his side. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, right? But I'm trying my best to not be biased. He flipped that A minor thing very nicely. The problem is what Kendrick said is way catchier. A minor, right? Just the way he said that had so much sauce to it that I'm gonna remember it more than this response, even though that this response is very sharp, right? The way he used all the notes to come back and turn it around. And he said at the end of it, while he was still scheming, your baby mama still has me as her screensaver. And it's just like, this is good. This is good.
And now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment. The shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents, but you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby.
If you guys don't know, Rick Ross's private jet, had a crash landing recently. And I don't think Drake's dumb enough to be the one responsible for it, but he's kind of insinuating that he's the type of guy who would do that, you know? I don't think he actually did it, though. I really don't think Drake is like that, but If he is, then he's the worst person than I thought.
But tell the fans, who was it? You thought you left D flat, D major. I slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Ooh. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later.
Okay. He's claiming that Kendrick is buying views and comments. But I've seen bots and comments on Drake's side too. And I feel like there's so many people that are invested in this that maybe Drake and Kendrick didn't buy any views or bots, but people that are in their camps are buying it for them. You know, like people, the stans are buying it for them. And it's just making both of them look bad. I've seen bots in both directions, to be honest. I've seen more on Drake's side, at least the last day or two. Unless all of these views Kendrick has been hitting on YouTube has been botted. But YouTube would have to figure that out. I have no way to validate that claim, you know?
In each chamber, your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon, no wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing...
I said that too. I said, if Kendrick drops this month after this whole beef, it's gonna look hella sus to me. It's gonna look like he timed this perfectly to market his album so that he can hit his numbers on his album, because he didn't hit the numbers he wanted to on his last one. And I reacted to that whole album on my channel that you can check out. I thought it was really good. A lot of people didn't agree with me. A lot of people didn't bump that album the way that they bumped, you know, For All the Dogs, for example.
Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon, no wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. And Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I promise.
When I say I hit you back in the DMs, hit you back, you know, text you back, whatever, it's a lot safer. Because when Kendrick hits you, he's actually physically abusing you. But the way that Kendrick planned this, the rollout, what Metro Boomin is doing on social media right now with that BBL Drake beat, it's so unrecoverable, man. Like, they just planned this way better than you, Drake. And I'm not even going to blame Drake for that, because all of them sat together and planned this stuff, from the We Don't Trust You to all the disses that drop on Drake at the same time. He really did get jumped by a ton of people at once. And then Big Kung Fu Kenny, the boogeyman, said, all right, everyone, you had your shots. It's my time to finish this guy. And he finished him, man. No freaky.
Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. And Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I promise. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would...
That breath, you could hear this guy is stressed. I'm not gonna hold you. You can hear this guy is trying to act cool right now, but he's feeling that pressure.
It's good to get out.
He's feeling that pressure, man.
You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor, but
okay.
It is what it is. You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop. The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. And then you go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if you wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit, but you know, at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you.
I tweeted this too. I said, you know what? If all we need is Kendrick to be in some beef for him to drop this consistently, someone else go at Kendrick in a year. Go at him in a year so he drops again. I don't want to wait 5 years for it now.
Tripling down on some whole other bullshit, but you know, at least your fans are
I'm gonna get my
getting
thoughts
some
here.
raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you, bring you back to the game, like, you know, but just let me know when we're getting to the facts. Everything in my shit is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor, like.
So Drake is putting his worth where his mouth is, you know? He said everything I said is facts. And everything you said was fed to you, so it's fake. And the stuff you speculated on, like the sex trafficking and the pedophilia stuff, there's no proof for it. The stuff that you said about me being a snitch, no proof for it. And especially for the snitch part, there should be proof for it, because that's just how the law works, you know. Someone talks, you're gonna find out. Did Drake do enough? No. Not even close. He has to drop another one. He has to drop another one, and maybe another one again. And maybe that's enough. And if Kendrick drops right now, right after him again, it's over. If Kendrick drops right after him here in a few minutes like he did last time, and he actually responds to some of the stuff on here, it's so over that I would just not even bother as Drake. Drake really has to rapid fire this out right now, and Kendrick has 10 more in the chamber.